Now, according to the Bible, Jesus promised a second coming, and this man, this is AJ. AJ claims that he is that second coming. He is Jesus. He's called Controversy, claiming he is Jesus Christ, and that 2,000 years after he was crucified, he's come back to earth to spread the love of God.
He's not alone in the studio this morning. His girlfriend believes that she's Mary Magdalene, and she says she remembers watching the crucifixion, watching in horror as Jesus was nailed to the cross. This is absolutely fascinating. First of all, what do I call you? Do I call you Jesus, my Lord? What do I call, or AJ?
Definitely not my Lord. I'm nobody's Lord. Just call me AJ, or my name is Jesus, obviously, but most people don't feel comfortable calling me Jesus, so I'm happy with AJ.
Do you call him Jesus, Mary?
On occasion I do, yeah.
How does it feel, though, Jesus talking to us today and everybody watching at home and knowing that 99.9% of that audience are mocking you, or laughing at you, or saying, this man is bonkers and she must be as bad as him?
Well, you know, I've experienced that kind of treatment most of my life in the first century, as well as the life now. We also receive that kind of treatment. So we're fairly used to that kind of treatment. I think when the majority of people actually hear or listen to what we say, then of course they have a much deeper interest in what's going on, and often they...
Is the second coming more difficult than the first coming?
No,
I mean, no one's going to kill you this time around. I suppose from that point of view, it's better.
Certainly, there are a lot more opportunities in this coming than in the first coming. Obviously, in the first coming, we could only spend time sharing with people through the word of mouth, whereas in this coming, we've got things like technology to share the truth with people, which is something that we do quite a lot of nowadays.
Through what? Through Facebook and Twitter and social media, or...?
No, we only do it through YouTube or through our own website. So we only share those things, and it's all for free. Nobody has to pay anything to listen to the YouTube channel or to get anything from the website. But there's almost 1,000 hours of material.
Because there has been that accusation, hasn't there, is that people pay and you have DVDs and cassettes to listen to and books.
It's a big cult
So that
following.
people are saying, oh, you're just creating a cult and you're exploiting people.
Yeah, that's what they say, but the reality is that we do everything for free, and we receive donations from people, obviously, because that's the only way we live. We don't have any other form of income. But usually we receive donations from people that are happy with what they're hearing, or find that it's changing their life in some way, and so they donate.
And we just want you to listen to what Jesus and Mary are saying today, and if it affects you one way or the other, or you're just going to be completely dismissive from this from the outset, let's accept what he has to say at face value, and let's listen to what the man has to say. But I would have thought, as a courtesy, if you are who you say you are, would you not have called upon the big Christian leaders and said, hello, Holy Father the Pope, just to let you know, I'm here, I'm back in town?
Well, my policy has always been, for the last 2,000 years, never to force myself onto people. So I would never force myself onto the Pope or force myself onto a religious leader to have a discussion. If they want to have a discussion with me, I'm very open to having a discussion with them.
And have they made any contact with you?
No, at this point, no, because they view me, as most people do, as some kind of cult leader who wants to do something.
Do you know how you
else.
could change that? You could change that by, for instance, these glasses of water in front of us. You could change that by turning these into wine. You could change that by, people are going to say, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, go on then, Jesus, impress me, show me a miracle.
Prove it, yeah.
Yes, well, in the first century, whenever somebody wanted me to impress them, I generally didn't. But the reality is that it wasn't until I was 31 in the first century that I could perform any miracles at all. And I never turned water into wine, actually. That's a myth. But I did perform other miracles in the first century once I became at one with God. And as I've said to people nowadays, I'm not yet at one with God again. I've got to go through the same process that I went through in the first century. Once I become at one with God again, both of us expect to be able to perform what people might call miracles. But to us, they're just the realities of being at one with God.
Gosh, there's so much I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, you grew up in a very small community in South Australia.
I did.
So when did you believe, when did you think, I am Jesus?
Well, I've had memories all of my life, of my entire 2,000 years of life, but it's been very difficult to assimilate them psychologically into my current life. So that didn't happen until I was 40, or just after 40 years of age. But before then, I've had many...
40 or 14?
40.
40.
Dude look like he about to motherfucking tell all his motherfucking followers and believers, okay, everyone, let's get it, okay. We're gonna breathe in. We're gonna breathe out. Like, what? Like, literally, he's coming, like, literally, they about to do chair yoga before they get into the fucking, the testimony and shit. Like, y'all look too calm for me in this damn fucked up world. Y'all don't got enough strife and ancestral fucking pain to say you fucking Jesus. Y'all look too fucking happy to me. Jesus would have been fucking mean mugging, bruh. I'm telling you. I wish some man did motherfucking who claimed to be Jesus Christ literally started off the motherfucking testimony like that, starting off with chair yoga, man. I would have been like, man, what are you on? We want to hear the truth. I'm not trying to do no damn chair yoga. Let's say this. If Jesus was to be here right now and he claimed that he is that figure, he would not say my name was Jesus, because that was not Jesus' name. His real name was Yeshua, okay? Yeshua. He was not white like that, and he was not African looking. He was Middle Eastern looking, and when I do my observation, right, a lot of Middle Eastern looks look very close to Hispanic looks, and I would say that quote unquote Jesus, Yeshua, not like he looked like a Hispanic person, but he was Middle Eastern. So I want to give you a visual of how he looked. And his hair was not very long, how they debate the white Aryan Jesus to be. His hair was like poofy-ish, curly-ish, like this length, but just more like outward. You know what I mean? Like in an afro-ish, but not like a black afro. And when I was young as hell going to church, I did not want to read the Bible at all. It just did not sit right with me because Yeshua did not write that. As of 26 years old, I never read the Bible, but I know for a fact how Jesus, quote unquote, looked, how he looked as a boy, young boy. I have a visual. I could literally paint a picture on how he truly looked. Can these false prophets do that? Can they do that? Can they literally tell me the clothing that he was wearing before his crucifixion? Can they literally tell me the setting? Tell me, do you know the Akashic record of Yeshua? You do not. I feel like people who claim that they are Jesus, they literally are witnesses, or probably from that time. They probably was literally there or some shit. They probably witnessed it, and then they come to this life saying that they are Jesus. Like, this is how it works. And when people saying they don't believe in Jesus, for all you know, they could have known Jesus and then folded on Jesus and now are speaking false truths about Jesus not existing and just being whatever. Literally, if Jesus was to come to this damn life right now, he would be calm as hell, human as hell, because literally people die every day, B. Motherfuckers getting slaughtered, raped, all this weird shit. You think Jesus about to come here and be like, obey me, bow down. No. As we know, Jesus is said to be God in human flesh, right? And why would you think God was just a human one time? What do you think that God was literally living life as a human, just like everybody else, prone to suffer, prone to joy, everything? You think God just going to create this world and y'all get to have fun, motherfucking potentially get slaughtered, violated, and God just literally has dictatorship to just say, you have to live this life, and God don't have to build him or itself to the fullest to understand life itself? Get the hell out of here. If you truly think that God is just a spirit outside of this reality, you're lost, okay? God has always been human. And when it comes to people thinking they know Jesus, they're saying, oh, Jesus wouldn't believe in past lives. Jesus don't believe in astrology. Jesus don't believe in tarot cards. Jesus don't believe in spirituality. They're conditioned by European control. Jesus loves all. Jesus is very, understanding. He does not judge for someone's sexuality, race, because literally we all here and are meant to be our own individuals. Nothing is wrong about anything unless it harms people. Literally, that's when Jesus cares. Literally, if you do not believe in immanence, you will never spiritually prosper. You will always be an ego to believe that God is a spirit. God has always been a human. God has always lived through a specific avatar human through many lifetimes, not just everybody, because if that's the case, why do we have murderers and rapists, etc., etc.? that just don't get it. God isn't everybody in a sense as a spark, but literally people get to have free will and get to do whatever with that free will. They don't have to believe in God. But literally, eminence is truly the way, because at the end of the day, people love to say God is everything, God is everywhere. So why can't y'all accept that God is an actual, literal, physical human, only one body, literally? The one that literally birthed the civilization as one person in the beginning of time. The one who literally was here during the void. The one that was literally here before humans was even here. The one that was literally living as a fucking primal animal. Literally. Can you tell me every single thing that comes to why God had to do this so he could understand life? Living through different people. It's to gain power. Everything is through power. God had to be good and bad to learn power and what to do with it, you know? Y'all think in this day and age, Jesus is going to come back humble as hell, sweet? No. Jesus might come back as a trap rapper on some real ish, because literally, I feel like that's the only way that will literally get across with this corrupt world that literally trying to dictate freedom of speech, right? So literally, you guys have this idea on how you want Jesus to be, when Jesus is how they want to be in order to make sure this goes how it's supposed to go. Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to evolve from corruption and wickedness and evilness. And literally, I don't think this man is ill-intentioned, you know, especially watching the interview. But I just feel like he is a witness to Jesus. He's not Jesus himself. And literally, when Jesus is not around, someone has to have the torch of, you know, something to be a catalyst so people can literally wake up and say, hey, this is possible, you know? His story is very believable, but I really want to have a conversation. What do you know about Yeshua? And Yeshua other past lives? Because I could tap into that Akashic record. Can you? Because literally, I don't think Jesus would come back looking like this. The blouse is not convincing. I don't mean to. The reason why I said this is because literally, I don't think Jesus come back with some drip, you feel me, with some pearly whites. Yeshua not about to allow himself to get crucified and humiliated just to come back with some yak mouth. You feel me? Literally, if you Jesus, man, make sure you brush your fucking teeth correctly, bro. Now, I'm not even trying to come at you because at the end of the day, Jesus is non-religious. He's non-religious. That's why I see eye to eye with that. But at the end of the day, he's a false prophet, okay? He's not Jesus. Maybe he was like a witness. You don't have to claim Jesus to be a spiritual being. You feel me? You could have been your own self, who is AJ. You know what I mean? But I just want people to just take heed with these false prophets.